Hi, I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. Last week I started a new series of videos specifically for newer players of the game. That one was to do with the gem matching logic, and this one's to do with freeze, because freeze is not quite as straightforward and simple as many people think it is. A lot of people think it's just you see an enemy with the freeze thing on them and basically they are frozen if they get a 4-match or they don't get an extra turn when they make a 4-match. It's not quite that straightforward, and there are two super important things to remember about freeze, which I'll try and explain in this video. Now, for the benefits of this video, I've purposely picked a couple of teams which are based up on certain things. Forest Troll does not have any frozen immunity, neither does the Wild Queen. I'm in Frost Mage class for this, and I've purposely picked Snap Freeze, freeze a random enemy at the start of the battle, and Insulated, immune to frozen. So we're immune to frozen, as is Queen Mab. She has that in her first trait, as well as a really good third trait, freeze a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. On the other side, Ice Golem is going to inflict frozen when doing skull damage, that's his second trait. And Cernunnos is immune to frozen, as is Daughter of Ice. But Copycat is not immune to frozen, and neither is Ice Golem. So we'll start the battle. Like I say, there are two really important things to remember about being frozen, and I'll go over them as soon as I can. Alright, the first thing to notice is we did have this snap freeze a random enemy at the start of the battle, but no one is frozen. And why is that, you may think? It's like, has the game gone wrong? No, all it is basically that freeze was tried to be applied to someone that is immune to frozen. So either got to be applied to him or Daughter of Ice, and they are both immune, so that is why there's no freeze effect on them. You can actually keep a lookout for it. When I've slowed the game down, basically when we collect this 4-match, Queen Mab will attempt to freeze one of the enemies, but if it's somebody that's immune, it will say Insulated on them as it does it. Yeah, and it was on second troop down, I said Insulated on him, which means that freeze has been failed to be applied. So we'll grab a couple of colours that we need to get going. As you can see, like Forest Troll has been hit by Ice Golem and he's been frozen. But the really important thing to remember about being frozen is it's not actually the troop that is frozen, it is the colours that they use. That is super duper important. Now, Forest Troll uses blue and brown. So that means whenever we make a 4-match on blue or brown, we are going to lose the extra turn. Because it's not the troop that's frozen, it's the colours they use. So, for example, Wild Queen uses brown as well. She uses purple, green and brown. But let's say she was at the top. So let's say that Forest Troll and her were switched round right now. So Forest Troll was where Wild Queen is now, and Wild Queen was at the top. And we had a 4-match on brown. We're going to lose that extra turn still, because it doesn't matter that she's not the one that's got that frozen effect on her. The frozen effect you can see from that icicle and snowy effect. It's the fact that brown is one of the frozen colours. So if she was at the top and we had a 4-match on brown, we're still going to lose that extra turn. That's one of the things that some people do not get about frozen. It's not the troop that's frozen, it's the colours that they use. Now, another important thing about being frozen is it should affect the way you select your colours as well. I'm going to cast this because I want to get a load of green there, because it'll be easier to explain. Right, I'm glad they left that like that, because now, for example, let's imagine that the hero was frozen, or the Wild Queen rather, because she's not immune to being frozen, and green is one of her colours. Now, we've got a choice of getting this or getting this one. Now, as previously even explained, it's not the troop that's frozen, it's the colour. So green is frozen, so we know we're gonna lose our turn as soon as we get this or not. This is where, unless the AI uses green and you really don't want them to get that extra turn as well, you may be better off collecting the one over here. Because the thing is, on this, you collect this normally, you can still get a mana surge from it. Where this, you're gonna get the 4 no matter what, and that is it. You can't get a mana surge on a 4-match, but you're going to lose the turn anyway. So if the AI doesn't use green, quite happily give them that extra turn, doesn't matter, where you can actually get the mana surge from this, but you won't be able to get it from this side over here. But we will obviously this time, because we're not frozen on green. That was just a hypothetical scenario. Now, one other thing as well to be wary of when using something like Essence of Evil. Troops like this, as we said, are immune to frozen. They've already avoided it twice in this battle. But by applying something like Essence of Evil to them, you can actually take that away. Because that applies all the negative status effects, they are now frozen as well. And basically you can put Essence of Evil, for example, on all the team and eventually have all the team frozen, even though they started off immune to frozen. And the reason is, when you stun someone, you remove the effect of their traits. And that's what's happened there to him. He's been stunned. That's what those X marks means, those red X's on the side. They've been stunned, and therefore they do no longer have the effect of their traits, so they are now liable to be frozen. So we collect some 4 matches, hopefully, from the Forest Troll there, which didn't quite work out. But yeah, now, actually, this is quite a good chance to show it, hopefully, because now the Wild Queen is frozen. But the other ones are not. So if we had a 4 match now, this would actually show it ideally. Right, I'm going to cast Essence of Evil and hopefully get a 4 match on green somewhere. And even though we've got if we get a 4 match, we will not get the extra turn because Wild Queen is frozen and green is one of her colours. So I'll cast it on Copycat because she's going to cause a load of yellow and green to explode. And hopefully we'll get a 4 match somewhere. If not, we'll cast Forest Troll instead. Right now, here it is. We've got the situation here, the perfect situation. You think, oh, I'll get a 4 match here for my Essence of Evil and carry on about my day. But it's not going to work like that because Wild Queen is frozen and she uses green. So we'll click this and we lost our turn. And that proves the fact that why you have to be careful about the colours and when you're frozen. So I'll just now continue on the game and win because everything I wanted to try and show has been shown. And I'll just chuck a load more green on the side. Now we can get everybody else frozen. One other really cool thing about freeze to be aware of as well is that Mab's spell, for example, where she freezes a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches, sometimes it may go on someone and that's already frozen. You may think that's a waste. It's not actually a waste because when the freeze gets reapplied to somebody, that cumulative effect to recover starts again from 10%. Which means they're going to be frozen for longer, basically. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Let's get the Wild Queen dancing. Again, this isn't a specifically good team. This is just one that I set up just to show the effect of this video, so that I'm not like trying to show like any super magical team here or anything like that. It's literally for the effects of freeze and how it works. So I'll just make sure he's got the whole shebang of negative status effects on him because that includes extra damage. So when we cast the Wild Queen, any skull hits, for example, and things like that do loads more damage than normal. As we can see, we're just wiping through the opposition now. 194 damage on that last skull hit. And Mab should wipe them out. Boom! Right, so there's the effects of freeze. Hope you found the video useful or helpful. If you did, be sure to hit like and subscribe because, like I say, I'll be doing a weekly thing on these type of videos for the benefit of newer players. And catch you again next time. Bye for now.